On today's episode of That Was Us, we are diving into Season 4, Episode 10, Light and Shadows. Randall supports Rebecca as she is faced with a difficult truth at her doctor's appointment. Kate and Toby acknowledge the growing distance between them. And Kevin takes a woman on an elaborate first date. In the past, Jack and Rebecca finally say, I love you. Hello, friends.
What's going on, gang?
How are you?
Day.
I'm doing all right. How are you doing, Mandy Moore?
I'm okay.
You look good.
I do.
You look sophisticated.
I look sophisticated.
Yeah.
Thank
the
you,
earth
sir.
tones are rocking.
You know, it's fall. It's
Yeah.
fall. I leaned into the fall palette this morning as I was getting dressed in the 5 minutes that I had before I had to race out the door.
I'm feeling it. You're looking grown.
Thank you.
You too. Well, what's this look we got going over here?
Yeah, it feels like a retired soccer hooligan, right?
I love it.
You look
Like
good.
right, kind of geezer. you know what I
Chris
mean?
can pull off
Anything.
Anything.
everything.
It's all character work.
No.
He's always working on something.
As who said it? RuPaul. You're born naked. The rest is drag.
I heard that.
You know what I mean? I'm all over the place, you guys. I feel chaotic.
Yeah.
I
You
feel
do?
exhausted.
Talk to us about it.
I just feel exhausted.
You've been back.
The shift of the season, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. The children seem to perfectly coordinate their time being awake in the middle of the night. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, one of
Aoife will
those.
go like have a hard time from 2 to 3,
Yeah.
and then just as she's like
Gone down.
at like 3:15, Bear's
Comes the
Pops
like,
up.
Dad.
Yeah.
And it's beginning to wear. It's beginning to wear. Yeah.
That's reminiscent
I feel
of that would be a good segue if we were talking about episode 411, 12, and 13. But we're talking about 410.
We'll get there.
We
We'll
will
get there.
get there.
We'll get
Slow
there
your
for
roll.
sure.
We'll slow. Yeah.
Sorry, man. I feel the exhaustion. I think it's like the shifting of the seasons and also being a parent with small children. If you even attempt to have like the tiniest bit of a social life
Yeah, man.
and you stay up past your bedtime, which I did last night.
Yeah.
Which is like 9:15.
It's totally.
Yeah.
It's like, forget it. All bets are off. You're just like, I'm like, ugh,
Yeah. But then I get in the car and I know I'm coming here.
exactly.
And I really look forward to sitting down with you
And
guys.
I always leave with like the biggest smile on my face. Like, that was the best day. I love my friends.
It's not so bad.
It's
a good
not so
way-
bad.
Good way to spend some time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should we talk about this episode?
Let's talk about it.
Can I interject with like, so Yasu Tanita,
Yes.
who was our DP, is working with Sterling on Paradise.
Correct.
He basically he shot our entire show.
The entire show.
It's his vision, the handheld sort of like intimacy that like I think our show is really steeped in.
Yes.
That's all Yasu and his love language and brainchild. And this was Yasu's first episode as a director.
That is correct.
Has he directed? He directed one episode, I believe, in season 6 as well.
Did he do 2 total? I think it was just 2.
I think it was just
Yeah.
2, but this was his first.
Yeah.
So I love that like there were some sort of like vignettes that felt very like DP as a director's
Totally.
choice, right? Like
Yeah.
the soft focus, like kind of morphing into like putting us in focus, like some of those scenes between like you and me and John and the doctor's office and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And the play on shadow and light
Very much so.
for, Toby and Kate's storyline, like all of it, it was really beautiful and sort of like the intention, like how intentional he was sort of going back and forth, like between the different time periods, like Jack and Rebecca as a young couple versus Rebecca, like in the mirror at the end as, an older woman sort of grappling with where her life is headed. And it just like, it struck me as like, oh, this is a lot of times we have a director that will just come in for an episode or it's Ken Olin who directed like 30 some odd episodes of the show. And like, we're moving at quite a clip. We did 18 episodes, which is like unheard of now for a show that would be on like a streaming network or whatnot.
Yeah.
So it's like, you just keep going and not that things are necessarily like paint by numbers, but it was interesting to sort of notice how like, I don't know. This episode felt different in that sense. I was like, oh, this is someone like really took some like careful consideration and made some real choices that you don't often see, I feel like, in
Yeah, that would be
some
hard.
of our episodes.
That would be hard to communicate between a guest director
Yes.
and the director of photography, maybe.
Sure.
Something
And
that only he could do.
Yasu has opinions. You know what I
Strong.
mean? So like he has strong opinions. So it's not. I don't know if he was always like, the collaborator
Yeah.
to like let a guest director come in and be like, so I have this idea about the lighting. Like that's his territory.
Yeah, right,
And to be honest, like when you are a guest director, it's sort of like you're stepping into a very well-oiled machine.
Sure.
So I think there has to be some deference to like the crew and how things are sort of run there.
Yeah.
So it would be more challenging to sort of come in with like, so I have this idea with like light and shadow and playing,
Yeah.
maybe wouldn't have gone over well. But
Sure.
because it was Yasu's episode, he was able to do it. And I thought it was really beautiful.
It's
Like there was,
gorgeous.
yeah.
Absolutely. We just got a message from our producer Sam that said 3 episodes.
Oh, 3.
He did 3.
1 episode in 4, 5, and 6.
Okay,
wow.
good.
And
I
each
forget what
time,
5.
more and more self-deprecating, more and more appearing as if he didn't want to be there.
That is his.
Not even appearing, saying it.
Yeah.
Like he's so funny because he will self-deprecate. He'll say,
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't want it. You guys, you do your thing. I'll do mine. And it was always,
You're right.
it was always a joy.
He's wonderful. He's done all of
Yeah.
Paradise. I do believe he's doing the pilot for your show, Mandy.
Yeah.
He
coming up.
refuses to do this podcast.
Nope.
We'll get him in.
Yeah.
We have to.
We'll get him in.
Yeah. So if you know Yasu, clip it.
Clip it.
Send
Send,
this to
it to
him.
him.
We need you.
He is the sweetest, kindest guy.
Most soft-spoken.
Very soft-spoken. Just had a second baby.
Oh.
And what I sort of remember about this episode is the crew and the crew's reaction to Yasu, because
Right.
Yasu shot a lot,
Uh-huh.
right? And because he's like, he wasn't sure exactly what he wanted and what he didn't want or whatnot. And I remember one time towards the end of the episode, I was like, oh, Yasu, I'm walking up the steps and there's a shot of my mom and dad. And I think you're like coming off of like the past story. I was like, I would probably get that, but don't worry about it. And he's like, yes, Sterl, that's good. And then the crew is like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, like why are you
Not
giving
more
us more
setups.
work?
Yeah.
It's
like,
funny because he's a super efficient DP,
Very much.
right? And like our camera department, like everybody just we had this like unspoken language between all of us. Like even
Yeah.
as actors, it's like you'd have James like cozy up next to you. You're like, oh, okay, I know what he's shooting. I know
Sure.
where to go. I know.
Yeah.
And the way Yasu had like the light set up and stuff like that. So it was funny that when it came to his episode, he took so much longer.
Unencumbered.
Unencumbered. He would have been so annoyed
Totally.
at the director who
Totally.
was taking up so much time, and
Yeah,
yet
yeah,
he
yeah.
was like, I'm gonna get comfortable here.
Yeah.
And
It was fun.
Yeah,
a good
it was
time.
so
now
fun.
that there's someone directing who knows what they're doing.
yeah, exactly. Here we go. So should we start post Thanksgiving with Toby and Kate?
Yeah,
'Cause
sure.
that's kind of where the episode
Yeah,
begins.
it's a great idea.
It is
Yeah.
real icy between them.
Super icy, you guys. For
And
good
what I
reason.
often think, I'm like, before a scene starts and you recognize like, oh, there's something unspoken between these characters. Like, I'm like, wow, they really flew all the way across the country with this like attitude. I as a human in a partnership, like there's no way I would have been able to have felt that
Yeah.
and not said something like,
Yeah.
can we just break this down? Like, what is going on?
Yeah.
So, like, props to Toby for just like getting through the travel day before being like, come on, something's clearly going on.
Yeah, and the way it was written is the exact way that I break into it when I in real life.
Yeah.
Where I'm just like, hey, so what's going on? and it played out just as it does.
Sure.
Nothing. That's a lie.
Yeah.
You're currently lying, and I know it.
Yeah.
So can we either talk about it, or can you stop acting like that?
Yeah. Do a better job of pretending.
One or the other.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she comes out with it that she's discovered him or discovered something.
Lady Kryptonite.
Lady Kryptonite.
Yeah.
I mean, is there a better screen name?
Kara
No.
or Cara?
Cara,
Okay,
please.
Cara. Apologies. My apologies.
And Toby basically is like, nothing is going on. You can read my phone.
Yeah.
Like, I have nothing to hide.
Yeah.
You offer to read the phone. That means you're good.
Yeah, totally.
You come up
Totally. I
through
was
the
like,
whole thing. Yeah.
Take a look.
He in a brief little monologue manages to make amends, take responsibility, apologize. And I believed it.
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
I believed it moving forward.
And he basically said, like, I would never look you in the eye and lie to you.
Yeah.
Right.
Which I appreciated as well. And
That's right.
and then they both are sort of
you
like,
just did when you said nothing was wrong and something was in fact wrong.
but they both are like, it's almost Christmas.
Yeah.
Like, it's that joyous time of year. Can we just, like, there's so much, let's get past this and just appreciate this Christmas as a family. And
But before we get to Christmas, I think young Damon has a birthday coming up, right?
yeah,
Yes.
he does.
Yeah.
He has a birthday coming up, and Kev and Kate are in the store trying to figure out the theme for what the party's going to be, et cetera, et cetera. And then we'll cross into Kev's storyline in a second, but we're setting up this birthday party, and I think it's a surprise.
Yes. A Jimmy Buffett themed
That's
birthday
right.
party?
That's right.
Yeah.
Toby.
Of course, you got to have
looking
a
at
shirt for
Hawaiian
that.
shirts. Yeah.
And so then we see the party's been set up, and she's gotten all the names of the people from the CrossFit gym, et cetera. And there's a dude named, was it Kurt? My man, CrossFit Kurt? CrossFit Kurt. And he's like, yeah, man, thanks for setting this up. It's real cool. And she's like, it's weird because I haven't seen him in a couple of weeks. And she's like, what are you talking about? Like,
He goes to the gym
he
every
goes
day.
to the gym every day. He's like, yeah, he must have found a new gym because we haven't seen him for a minute. And so Kate's like, all right, what's popping?
The daggers, she like the look she gives Toby at the party as he like comes in, and they're like,
walked in.
surprise!
And he knew from jump. He's like, Lucy, you got some splaining to do.
Yeah,
it was
trouble.
I will say I was like, oh wow, Kate and Toby in this moment have a whole scene with no words.
Yeah.
There's like shock and surprise. He looks over at her.
Yep.
She looks at him.
Yeah, it's sort of like,
his
didn't
face,
you just tell me you weren't going to lie to me about anything?
Yeah, his face
Being
changes. He knows exactly what
Technically.
Yeah.
It was a lie by omission.
Okay, what does that mean?
Ah.
Because I'm asking on behalf of Tobes.
Hey Siri, what's the definition of a lie? Everyone listening, their phone just immediately.
They're like, oh, dang it.
What's
Intentionally false statement.
Okay, so it wasn't a statement.
It wasn't a statement.
Well, it's a misdirect.
It is a
by
misdirect.
omission.
For shizzle.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, which I think should count. Like,
Yes.
I don't know. When it is finally...
I think we all agree.
Yeah.
I think we all agree.
When it finally is revealed, when, the party is done, right?
Yeah.
And she's just sort of like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
And he's sort of like, you were right. When I, went to the gym, when we got home or whatever, Cara tried to kiss me.
Yeah.
And I didn't let it happen. I backed
Right.
away, but it was like, I realized like, okay, I can't be working out here anymore. I can't be around this energy.
Yeah.
So I found a new gym and a new place to work out. And I didn't tell you because it just would be a whole thing. And, I heard that and I appreciated where he was coming from, but sure, as a partner, it's like you never...
It is a clear indication of distance.
Yeah.
Well, she also said, like, could it be that she was picking up on something that you were putting out? Because, bro, it seems clear as day to
You
me.
don't want to be here.
You don't want to be in the crib,
Yeah.
right? And he's like, that's not true. But then eventually they
He
wound
cops
up
to
getting
it.
to it. And talk to him. What do you feel? What you feeling there, Big Toe?
Oh, I mean, Toby is having a hard time with the being honest about his feelings towards the current, especially as it relates to Kate's feelings about having a seeing impaired son.
Yeah,
and he is engaged in a lot of self-pity, and he's engaged in a lot of kind of. From an outside perspective, a little self-centered thinking, like
your empathy for Tobes is minimal.
I understand it,
Okay,
but at the same time, it's like that's an interesting kind of cross-reference to the reason he's trying to. Whenever he tries to express it to Kate, he doesn't feel like he is heard or he is
Sure.
or he's validated in those feelings, and so he vents to other people.
Right.
Sure.
And just so happens
Spends
the only
time at
other
the
people
gym
he's
and-
around are these people at the gym.
Right.
And Lady Kryptonite.
Apt name.
Yeah. And so
She'll take you down. Jack.
it's, it's understandable. Am I empathetic towards it? Sure. But I also understand how that could be severely frustrating
Sure.
to a partner.
Yeah, I was my thought in sort of like defense of Tobias is I believe that most people, when they see you have a child, expect that the only sort of feeling that you can have is pure joy.
Yeah.
Yes.
And just there are other thoughts that occupy a new parent's mind, an addendum to joy. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
I think we go into this potential experience of parenthood with certain expectations.
Absolutely.
And when those expectations aren't met,
Yeah.
when we take a little bit of a detour, it is perfectly understandable and allowed for someone to have to mourn. Like Toby
Yeah.
is mourning
A
what
period
he
of
thought his
lamentation.
parenthood
Right.
would look like, what
Yeah.
he thought raising his son was going to be. It's different, and it's okay that he is sad about not being able to show him Star Wars
Sure.
or watch a football game or see the ocean. Like that's all perfectly understandable that's
Yeah.
his reaction.
Yeah.
That sadness and that grief, whereas Kate may feel that, but also like the joy of motherhood sort of surpasses.
Correct.
Do you know what
Yeah,
I mean?
I do.
So it's like it's like both reactions are totally valid.
Yeah,
And
Sure.
I think what's tricky in this particular situation is what you just said, is that Kate they're not willing to like have a conversation and meet each other in the middle about it.
Yeah. There's a lot of grieving going on.
Yeah.
I've had several friends, men and women, who that we're told what to expect from parenthood, and kind of almost imposed upon
Sure.
from a societal level.
Yeah.
That it is supposed to be nothing but joyous and
Right.
and full of all the good feelings,
Sure.
and there's no room to talk about that grief.
Yeah.
The grief, the death of your old
Identity.
that your life, your autonomy, your whatever it might be. I've had several friends who are like, people told me that you're just going to fall in love immediately. I'm not in love yet, and I'm worried about that.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
it's so lonely.
yeah, it's very lonely because you
Yeah.
can't. Who do you talk to about that?
Exactly.
You tell someone
You're
you're
the
not
wrong person.
you're not
like,
in love with your
Hey
child.
man, you love your kid? Oh, you do? Cool. That's
Okay,
cool.
yeah. Me too. Of course, now things change.
Sure.
At different seasons, and this little blob who has maybe invaded your space and taken your partner and taken all your partner's time and taken all your partner's focus, or whatever the thing is. It sounds like I'm covertly talking about myself, but calling it other people.
yeah,
Mhm.
other people.
I don't know.
Yeah, this
Cough,
happens to other people.
Not me.
No, I definitely had all the immediate like love feelings, but I also had the resentment, the amount of focus that was given, the amount of attention, the how alone I felt,
Yeah.
kind of in the house.
Coupled with crippling exhaustion.
Yeah, and a pandemic
Be
at the
tired.
time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
All that.
Yeah, everything just rotating in between 3 rooms
Yeah.
for a year.
I was gonna so I say my words in defense of Tobias, and then in defense of my sister Kate. It's like, I think you can have all those feelings, but I still think you have to be present,
Yes.
right? So like the
Correct.
idea of removing yourself from the situation as a way of dealing with it, I don't think is ideal.
Mm-mm.
To have the feelings, but to still be there.
Yeah,
That's, I think, what you're
Struggling
striving
with.
for.
Yeah, yeah.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Which is where they get to at the end of this
Yeah.
episode.
We'll be right back with more That Was Us. All right, y'all, here's the thing. Bombas is really stepping up their slipper game this year. There's new styles, new textures. They are fluffy. They got suede and even waterproof slides. It's like they know every foot has a vibe.
Have you guys tried the Sunday slippers with the little Sherpa lining? They're so cozy.
Really?
I'm telling you, you're not going to want to take them off in the house. I'm a big fan.
Maybe we need to get some to wear on the pod.
Maybe we do.
Bombas, are you
Bombas.
listening? Slippers on my feet.
This time of year, it is sensory overload everywhere, but the one feeling I'm chasing is cozy. And Bombas has it covered, you guys. Socks, slippers, tees, basically everything that makes you want to curl up and exhale.
Bombas slippers are the perfect gift. Honestly, who wouldn't want a box with Bombas slippers or socks under the tree? Even the fussiest person you know cannot argue with that.
I'm hard to buy for. I'll take it. Easy. But hey, if they do argue, that's where the happiness guarantee comes in. If you're not 100% happy, Bombas will make it right. Plus, you can send them almost anywhere because they ship to over 200 countries. So whether it's your cousins abroad or your best friends down the street, everyone can feel the cozy.
And for every pair you buy, Bombas donates one to someone experiencing homelessness. That's comfort with a purpose.
Yeah.
Head over to bombas.com and use code TWU for 20% off your first purchase. That's BOMBAS.com, code TWU at checkout. Bombas.com and use code TWU.
Life's messy. Kids, pets, long nights on the couch. That's why you need furniture that looks great and can hold up.
Article gets that. The pieces are high quality, thoughtfully designed, and meant to stand the test of time. No shortcuts, no gimmicks, just furniture that feels like it belongs in real life.
An Article makes the whole process easy. The website's clean, the ordering process is simple, and delivery is fast and affordable across the U.S. and Canada.
And if you need any proof about the durability of this furniture, we are sitting on it currently.
Right now.
Sitting in style.
Rabbit Grin Studios puts this furniture through the works.
Yep.
Yeah, we do.
Podcast
We do.
after podcast after podcast after surgical boots.
Hold my boot. Hold my
And
boot.
it holds up. It looks great. It's super stylish. I
Yeah.
love that we can sort of mix and match things.
Very
Big
comfortable.
fan.
Fantastic.
Well, let me test this from smooth edges on a dining table to sturdy joints on a chair, or the way the fabric holds up year after year. There's no filler, just craftsmanship that lasts.
And if you're not totally sure about something, you can relax. Article has a 30-day satisfaction guarantee and a customer care team available 7 days a week. They're even offering free interior design services to help you pull a room together.
Article is offering our listeners $50 off your first purchase of $100 or more. To claim, visit article.com/TWU, and the discount will be automatically applied at checkout. That's article.com/TWU for $50 off your first purchase of $100 or more. So we have a discovery, right?
Right.
Before,
Oh, it's so beautiful.
please.
So, is it Toby kind of like leaves the room? I don't remember why you leave, but Kate is left in the kitchen after this conversation with Jack.
Yeah.
And she realizes that the cute string of pineapple lights that Madison sort of found at the store that kept, it all
bless
comes
Madison.
back
Yeah.
around. Sweet Madison, just like saving the day. So they have these like pineapple string lights up, and Kate notices that baby Jack is looking at them and reaching for them.
Yes, he is.
And she calls Toby into the kitchen and is like, remember when the doctor said that like there's a possibility he might be able to differentiate between light and shadow? Like, I think he sees these light, and it's like this beautiful moment where Toby realizes that's exactly what he's doing and like picks him up, and sweet little baby Jack is like reaching up above him for the pineapple lights. It's beautiful. And you're like, oh, everything is gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Like, here is a moment for this family to like savor together.
Yeah.
And it will be the first of many moments like this of
Yeah.
like, okay, we'll keep putting one foot in front of the other
Sure.
and figuring out like, and celebrate these little wins as they come along, which
Yeah.
all of us as parents,
Right.
you sort of learn to do.
Absolutely.
Right.
I love shouting out these moments as an actor watching Sully with the baby. And
Before
there's
he was a parent.
before he was a parent, and like kissing him on his forehead or his cheek or something like that. shout out to all the parents that allow us to use their children.
Yeah, shout out.
Because it's like once we're in it,
Somebody
it's like,
else's
well, this is
baby,
you're my child now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So I'm gonna treat you the way that I'm gonna
Yeah.
treat my baby,
Yeah.
and it's the best. Like,
Yeah.
It's such a
because there's
treat.
such a difference between when you have the doll and you can't show them, and when you have that living, breathing, and you see that reaching for
Little
the
A
thing.
little
hand.
It's
tiny
just
hand.
like,
I know.
Yeah.
I just kiss you. I just kiss him.
Yeah,
kiss him.
exactly. He
Mwah.
was especially delicious.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
He was so cheap.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Ooh,
It's beautiful.
he was cute.
Okay, so that's for.
Should we go weave in Kevin? Because he's sort
I
of
love
like
this one.
weaved in and out of that storyline.
Start it up.
So he is in pursuit of finding wife and mom, right?
Correct.
This is like we're
His
kind
mandate.
of we've sort of
Yeah.
jumped forward in time in the last episode.
Yeah.
Which we left sort of we left America waiting with bated breath like
Yeah.
throughout the holiday season.
right. That's
This
right.
episode came back, I believe, in January. But he talked about, 9 months in the future, his pregnant fiance. So now we're like all desperately chomping at the
Yeah.
bit to figure out who this woman
That means
is.
in a matter of days, he's going to meet this person.
And he's
Right.
like employed a matchmaker
Yeah.
to set him up on some dates. The first one is a molecular biologist.
That's right.
Uh-huh.
And he calls it out like, you're too smart for me.
Yeah, she's
and she's like, I
probably.
am. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
She
then
agrees.
the next girl is they're enjoying coffee
Yeah.
and she's like, oh, I love beans from Ethiopia. They're
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
favorite. And he's like, right? And she's like,
At least
least
Ethiopians
are good for something.
right?
Just a vocal racist.
and he literally just like,
Yep.
he's like, okay.
The look on his face of like grossed out disappointment. He's like, oh,
Okay.
just disappointed, like a kindergarten teacher,
Right?
Yeah,
It's like, oh, you had to be
you
racist?
ignorant.
That's not
Well,
good.
what's the Kate? You ignorant slut.
So then Kev and Kate are shopping for
That's right.
for supplies, party supplies, Hawaiian shirts and whatnot for his surprise party. And they decide to go have a coffee. And while they're at the coffee shop,
Real quick, before rewind back to that when they're shopping for those Hawaiian shirts.
Yeah.
And Madison shows up with the
Pineapple lights?
Pineapple lights.
Yep.
I don't want to jump too far into the future, but it's the first nod, like
Yeah.
the subtlest nod that our show gives to what is to come.
Right.
There's something in the way Kevin like responds to something she says. Like he looks at her for a second
Yeah.
with like more attention than maybe he has ever before.
that's interesting that you noticed that. I didn't.
And then they, but the way it's written, they both end up standing next to each other and they agree on how Kate should handle Lady Kryptonite.
Got it.
It's like all
Yep.
of a sudden there's like this like little like shift of
Like a little bonding moment.
Yeah, Kevin has always
Yeah.
been like, you're disgusting.
Yeah.
You
don't,
grow
don't let me
get
Or
sleep
you're
with her.
annoying.
get away
Yeah.
from me.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
whatever the thing is.
Right.
And then there's this like little turn there.
Sure.
Yeah.
Interesting.
No.
Well,
Okay. I see. I feel you.
just
Vic.
a nod, a subtle nod.
Yeah. So, but wait, they're there.
Sorry.
And
And then
he-
at the coffee shop,
At
right?
the coffee shop, and he's just talking about how he just wants the universe to send him somebody. He's done with this matchmaker.
Uh-huh.
And all of a sudden, this like beautiful woman in the coffee shop sort
Yes.
of like turns over and makes eyeballs at him.
Yeah.
And he's like, what? And Kate's like, the universe doesn't work that fast.
Doesn't work that quick.
Maybe.
And he's like, well, for me.
Yeah.
And he just is like, you can just tell he is a man on a mission.
Totally.
Yes.
He's like, I have to find her.
Yeah.
Which I have proposed this theory that I do believe there are men out there that get to a certain age and they're just sort of like, okay, now's the time. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
Men that are maybe just like they reach this point in their life where they're like, it's time to settle down and it's time to get married and it's time to find a partner. Like
Yeah.
people, as if like, I don't know. I feel like maybe it's something, maybe it's different for men or women, but it's like I was looking for that all along kind of thing.
Really? So it's uniquely male, this phenomenon. you're
Yes,
talking
that you're
about.
just sort of like, this'll do. You know what I mean? I mean, but that's kind of what he's doing, right? Like, you're the one that's next to me. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it's
Not to make a generalization
No.
that that's all
No,
men,
no,
but I
no.
do believe there are
what I
certain
did.
men out.
No, I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
of course. There are certain men out there, I believe, that are just sort of like, the clock sort of struck whatever, and
Sure.
I'm 50, and
And it is
this is great.
and maybe it's also men of a certain appearance
Maybe.
and a certain
Talking about white dudes?
financial ability. Maybe, I don't know.
Okay.
People who look like Kevin,
Yeah.
who are just like, no, I'm going to do what I want to do for
I
as
hear
long
you.
as I want to do it,
And then,
and when I
I
want
see
to
what you're
change,
saying.
yeah.
I'll have that.
Do you know what I mean? There
Oh,
is
that's
like there is a
interesting.
privilege about it of just like how
Yeah.
easy he thinks it would be to like, no, I'm by the time I'm 40, I want to find the girl and I want to start having a family.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
like, what? Like, don't you think that's what we've all been fucking doing? Like, we're all slowly but surely trying to get to
Yeah.
that. And the fact that
Sure.
he's just sort of like, okay, and thinks it's that easy. Sort
Yeah.
of like, oh, I see this beautiful woman. Maybe it's her in the
And
But
coffee
it
shop.
is that easy.
This
for
is
This is Sophia,
Sophia
Bush.
Bush. Bush is sweet as can be.
Yeah. the sweetest.
It is. So this is interesting because
there she is.
I think it has been that easy for him. Like you know what? I had a friend of mine when I was on Army Wives. Oh, I love this. He's one of my favorite people. His name's Drew Fuller. I'll just mention him by name because he'll love the shout out. And he was on Charmed when he was younger, and he was very sort of heartthrobby. He came from modeling and then crossed over into acting or whatnot. And I would talk to him about this, what you're talking about. And I go like, dude, why do you think it's so easy to just go out and be? He's like, you know how like girls can like sort of go out and if they want to like hook up with a guy, they probably could, right? And he's like, well, I feel like it's the same way for me. Like I'm a handsome guy, you know what I'm saying? And if I want to hook up with somebody, then I probably just will hook up with somebody. And I was like, what a feeling to
Yeah.
feel like
Yeah.
the hot chick.
with
That's
great
what I'm-
power.
Do you know what I'm saying? 'Cause
That's
great
what I'm alluding
responsibility.
to. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I just feel like there are certain examples in life of men that kind of get to that point,
Yeah.
like Kevin, that are like, okay, now's the time. Like, I
Yeah.
haven't really been
Yeah.
looking this whole time, but now I want to like seal the deal.
Like
You're
George
just like,
Clooney.
yes. Well,
Like-
I mean, he ended up with
No, of course.
somebody who's
Of course.
absolutely
He does well for
And of
so
course,
impressive.
I have no idea what his personal life is like, but it seems like he led his whole life like an international man of elegance.
Sure. Yes.
And then it was just like,
Now's the time.
who's the greatest woman in the world?
Because
Bring-
she shall be mine.
Bring me her.
Yeah.
And you know,
Yeah.
And he
yeah.
got her. And he got her.
So Kevin and this woman, who we come to find out is named Lizzie, have
right.
just
Yeah.
instant, palpable chemistry.
She's so charming.
She's
Yes.
charming. He's charming. It's like, oh, well, maybe he did find his match.
Yeah. She keeps getting like phone calls from her mom,
Yeah.
just sort of like checking in on her while
Yeah,
they're
and
on
she's
their
like
date.
furiously texting,
Yeah.
and Kevin's like,
It's like, you can answer. He's like,
Yeah.
yeah. She's like, I'm good. It's all good. She winds up telling him that her favorite musician is John Legend. He kind of clacks that. And
she's in from out of town.
She's in from out of town. She's in Chicago.
Yeah.
She's got one day to hang out. And that he gets like, well, let's
Yeah.
make the most of the day.
Yeah, let me
Right?
give you the quintessential perfect
LA
day.
day,
Yeah.
right? So they wind up going to the Hollywood Bowl, which is like the spot, right? It's the outdoor amphitheater that everybody comes to perform in. Hollywood and Highland. It's a great spot. He's got it to himself. And they're hanging out. And then onto the stage walks John Legend. And
Who is
she's
her
like,
favorite musician?
Her favorite musician. She's like, what is going on?
Now, there's a fine line between romance and what in certain 12-step circles in the intimacy department would be called love bombing.
Yeah, this is a total love bomb.
Okay.
Which is like a perfect Kevin Pearson move.
Yeah.
Which is like, what? This is way
Over the top.
over the top.
Sure.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
which I think is the point.
Yeah.
Right.
That he has decided he's going to get married and have kids.
Yeah.
And the
How
way,
do I get there? Like,
yeah, how do I get there now?
exactly.
Yeah.
He
Expeditious.
mentions, I don't know if it's earlier or maybe later on in the show, but it'll dovetail into Jack and Rebecca. He talks about how his parents had like this sort of magical
Yeah.
love story,
Trying
right?
to live
Where
up to it.
and he's trying to live up to it. And so it'll be an interesting juxtaposition when we get there because
Yeah.
it's like, not all that glitters is gold. Like they went through some stuff
Yeah.
even before, you know
sure,
what I'm
that
saying?
they're not going to privy their children to.
No, but it's so interesting that we all try to sort of like live up to something that in our minds is this ideal.
It's a
Yeah.
highlight reel.
You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
we don't actually know the full truth of it.
Right.
Yeah, it's funny because like in the litany of grand gestures by the Pearson men, like this is really like takes the cake.
Yeah.
But in his mind, he's like, my dad was a hopeless romantic, and so was my mom. And like, I'm sure in his mind, he's like, this is something my dad would have done.
Sure.
Had he had the resources and means and connections and whatnot. Like, this is what you do for someone that you're trying to woo.
Right.
Which I think is an interesting perspective on it, right? Because from the outside, it looks like hopeless romance. But again, like you're saying, like from the inside, when we get into the details of these, gestures, they don't come. I don't view Jack as a hopeless romantic.
Yeah, he seems way more practical than that.
And there are these moments that arise that become mythical or that become family legend.
Yeah.
But they're oftentimes out of like necessity.
Yeah.
Like the Thanksgiving hot dog motel, creepy motel
example I was thinking of too.
You know what I mean? Like where it's like he takes a situation
and makes the most of it.
Versus like he's not concocting these big things.
So he makes the most of what he has with what's available to him. And just he and Kev have different resources available to them at the time. Because if the young lady asked me to take her to LA, I'm going to take her to LA.
Yeah.
That's what he had available and he did it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Whereas Kev's like, oh, I know John Legend.
Yeah. But there was also a quick moment in that coffee shop where she's like, I really want to go and put my hands in the thing.
He's like, no.
And he's like, no. And there's a quick moment in her face where like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like, but it's what I
want.
That's what I want.
Yeah. That's my LA day.
Yeah. Right. Stupid idea. I got a better idea. And it's just like, okay, all right.
That is so Kevin.
And the difference, I guess, is like Jack in the way he's taking care of people is really considering people.
Yeah.
Like really taking people into consideration versus this love bomb of like, what's the most extravagant?
You feel like Kev's taking himself primarily into consideration in terms of like
so.
how great can I be?
There is a selfishness degree to it.
There is.
Okay.
I mean, it all kind of, hey, answer. I'll do the thing. I'll
FaceTime her.
Right.
You know, like this whole thing of like, look what I can do.
Yeah.
Sure.
You know, like.
Yeah, Mickey, I get it.
You know, it's showing off. It's showboating.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, versus like, this is meaningful maybe to this person because what the fuck is happening?
Right.
But
it all kind of eventually reveals itself that she in fact has not been texting and fielding calls from her mother.
After they kiss. This is
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
They do kiss. And she pulls away and admits like that Kevin was her hall pass and that she is in fact married.
Yeah.
And that was her husband who's been like texting and calling.
Yeah. And
this just like she never in her wildest dreams imagined she'd ever meet Kevin Pearson. And then she saw him at the coffee shop and she's like, oh, I see how far I can take this kind of thing.
Yeah.
And instantly sort of regrets the kiss and the fact that like, she sort of led him on for the whole day.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a little heartbreak.
Yeah.
My man is sad by it. Wait, and I'm gonna play a game here because I don't want to find out that you guys routinely have key parties or anything a la Ice Storm. But
this is where you find out.
Yeah.
But celebrity crush? Is there a crush that has been professed to your husband or wife?
Well, mine was Donald Glover.
I do know yours is Donald Glover. I didn't know if we said it on air or not. I wanted to have it out loud. Yeah.
Yeah, you've asked before, and I'm always blank when you ask, and then I'm at home and I'm like, oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, Oscar Isaac too. Yeah, he's
Oscar Isaac.
Yeah.
You like a scruffy.
I do like a scruffy scruffer.
You got a little scruffy man at the crib.
Oh, I do. I like scruff.
Yeah, I like funny.
Okay.
Like funny, really.
Yes.
Like Kristen Wiig.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Maya Rudolph.
Oh yeah.
Rudolph is great.
Rudolph.
She ain't a red-nosed reindeer.
Yeah, I don't know.
SKB?
Well, I mean, I told Sully when I was a kid it was Dolly Parton.
Yeah,
Right.
but I mean like right now,
I know.
2025.
Dolly.
Still Dolly Parton.
Yeah. Like people, because mine is a talent thing as well.
Yeah.
So like my wife will always be like, I was like, if me and Meryl had the opportunity, would you be okay? And she's like, are you serious? I'm like,
Kinda?
no, yeah, You know what I'm saying?
I just remembered who, because I saw someone. I'm like, if Sterling ever asked again, I'd say that person.
Who?
is it?
Dua Lipa.
Oh, yeah.
Every time I see
She's
her,
beautiful.
I'm like, mother of God.
Yeah.
And then talented, and then also like incredibly smart
And
Yeah.
funny.
and funny.
Yeah. She's
Yeah.
funny too.
Her
All of
podcast
that.
is great.
Okay.
Or it
All
was.
right,
I don't
Dua.
think it's
All
on anymore.
right.
That's good. So yeah, I
Meryl? Just Meryl? Come on, SKB.
I mean, Meryl's the epitome of like I've actually been watching Only Murders,
And
uh,
she's so good on it.
which is a show that consistently makes me laugh out loud.
Yeah.
Very funny.
In terms of like a lot of half hours that have skewed towards like a sort of like
Martin Short will sneak up on you.
Martin Short is a
He
beast.
sneaks
Oh,
up.
he's
He
the
sneaks
greatest
up in a way
of
that
all time
He
ever.
does this
Yeah.
before he does like a line that is so good. Okay, anyway. But watching her on that show, like, and how she'll throw in an accent for no reason
Yeah.
at all whatsoever, but it's
Yeah.
always fucking perfect. It's
Uh-huh.
like whatever
Uh-huh.
the accent is.
She seems like she's having a lot of fun too.
There's an SNL sketch, and then we'll get back to our show, where Abby Elliott plays Meryl Streep, and she joins the Ice Capades, right? And Meryl Streep is like, Meryl Streep joins the Ice Capades after years, and she's like flawlessly doing like these triple Lindys and quadruple Lutz or whatnot, and then they cut to a close-up of Abby Elliott, and she just like lands it, and she goes, "I'm just having fun."
I can't. I gotta watch that.
It's like my favorite skit. And Ryan does that to me all the time. It's just like, "Sterling, how do you do it?" He's just having fun. It's my favorite thing in the world.
I just watched a couple nights ago. Rachel and I got to sit down and watched the John Candy documentary.
Oh, was it
How
good?
that is?
It's incredible.
Oh, I
Okay,
love
I'ma
him
check that out.
so
It's called
deeply.
I Like Me,
Yes.
and it's on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
And I'm getting around like one of my old like childhood crushes, Catherine O'Hara.
Oh God.
Come on, man.
She
course.
pops up obviously in the documentary a
Of
lot.
course.
But yeah, check out the documentary.
Oh,
It's
I want to watch
it
Is
is
it
incredible.
As heartwarming as the Charlie Sheen documentary.
Far more heartwarming.
Different vibe.
Far less.
Different.
Far less tiger blood.
Yeah,
vibe.
far less prostitutes.
Yeah,
and-
Yeah. He's an even greater man than you think.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah.
Uh,
really good.
Is that the end? Does Kev do anything else at the end of that storyline with him and Lizzie?
I think that's it. Well, he goes to do his reshoots for the M. Night Shyamalan movie.
That's right. Thank you.
And he's talking to the sweet, like, base camp PA
Yeah.
who's walking him to work.
Who has
and
to listen to
who
him?
has to listen to him complain about just like, well, I'm just like gonna focus on me now and focus on work and blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. And like,
Maybe
And
that
then he-
love story wasn't meant to be. Something about like his
correct.
parents.
Like
yeah.
he's just feeling down on himself and then hands the PA his phone, which I'm like, that's a move.
Yeah.
Here,
Put it
hold
in
this. Hold this. I gotta focus.
Yeah, I gotta focus. I'm like, leave your phone in your trailer then, man. Or put it on your chair, friend.
Yeah.
This poor guy tasked with like holding this guy's
Yeah,
phone.
yeah.
Anyway. And as he like leaves, we zoom in on the phone and Sophie is calling him. So it's like, da da
Oh,
da.
from
What does
Sophie.
it mean? But that is the end of that storyline.
That's it. Oh man, she just keeps coming. Oh, Sophie just keeps on coming. You never know if it's gonna be
Just
her
had to
or whoever.
check if
else.
Mystic River was still gonna be on.
There you go.
Should
Yeah.
we jump to Jack and Rebecca in the past?
Let's
Yeah.
do that. Let's do that.
So we're kind of picking up from Jack being a bit tipsy from the golf game
Yeah.
with Rebecca's father, and she's driving him home. And she is just trying to figure out, like, what happened between you and my dad?
Yeah.
Like, my dad seemed a little frustrated and weird. And, like, I feel like I interrupted you guys. You guys were
Yeah.
in the middle of something. And
yeah.
and
you know
he's-
what you interrupted? You interrupted. Like, say it again.
Yeah.
about them about to fight.
Yeah, you didn't interrupt. You saved the day.
But she's like, no harm, no foul. Like maybe you guys can like make amends and find a way to like come together on Saturday night, which is like his big birthday party my mom is throwing for him. And
For your
he's-
dad, right?
Yeah. And he was like, I don't remember that, but okay.
Can I tell you something I don't remember? Jack's living situation.
I don't think it was ever really talked about until this episode.
Now I was like, yo, were you living in my dad's building in Philly? Like, I was like,
Pretty much, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
It was sketch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah,
okay.
she drops him off and she's like, are you sure you don't want to stay in my apartment? He's like, I've been staying there a lot. And she's like, I know, but like, I know you don't love it here. And he's like, I'm fine. I'm fine. And then that is the first Joni Mitchell needle drop, which I loved. Like them playing California. And it's sort of, again, like then does the soft out of focus into like the hard focus of us sitting in the waiting room, which we'll wait to jump into. I guess we can finish this whole storyline.
Sure.
Jack and Rebecca, it's now another night.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the next night. It
They're on
doesn't
a
really
date.
say, but they're out to dinner. They're eating burgers, and Jack is like unceremoniously quiet.
We see a little glimpse of him in the place. I think, is he going over bills or like looking at things before that date happens? I think. Yeah.
He's not himself.
Right.
Yeah.
He's in his head. And Rebecca's sort of doing all the talking about how crazy her mom is driving her about this silly birthday party for her dad and blah, blah, blah. And Jack, like, kind of out of the blue, sort of starts to break up with her.
Yeah.
And basically tells her, like, you know, I can't even afford to tip on this meal.
Can't afford the pepperoni on the pizza.
Yeah. Sorry, they're not eating burgers, they're eating pizza, right? And it's just sort of like, we're from two totally different worlds. You eat at a country club. Like, I'm so inherently uncomfortable there. This is just not, like, it's been fun, but like, what are we really doing?
Yeah.
We're just, prolonging the inevitable. We're not supposed to be together.
Yeah.
And I think Rebecca is really taken aback. Like, this is the last thing she sort of expects. Like, they had this incredible road trip and like things have been feeling great, have been feeling faded in a way.
Yeah. And he leaves.
And
it looks like that's, oh, snap. We didn't even know that happened.
She goes to her parents' house for this birthday party. I guess it's that same night.
Yeah.
Her mom is like, you're here really early. What happened? And she basically is like, my mom, like, he broke up with me.
Yeah. Like, she asked where Jack is. And like, there's just a moment on your face of like, and so she recognizes, and there's a bit of comforting that takes place there. And then later on, she's like, well, I know you liked him a whole lot. And she's like, I didn't like him.
I love him.
And she's like, come.
You haven't been together that long.
Right. You can't be that much. You know what I'm saying? You're like, no, Ma, you know when you know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And it's not like you and Dad.
Right. Right.
And Mom kind of jumps in and says, like, I know that your father and I don't have a flashy love story.
Yeah.
But we do care about each other.
Yeah.
And our love doesn't exist in sort of like the grand gestures of cross-country road trips. And like, it's in the smaller, more ordinary moments.
Yeah.
And that is valid too.
More That Was Us after these words from our sponsors.
You know how the holidays go. Family coming over, recipes everywhere, the house suddenly working overtime. The last thing you want is something breaking down right when everyone's under your roof.
Sometimes I've had a gutter issue before, and it just messes with the drainage and it goes all over to the swimming pool and basketball court. I have an estate. And so like the drainage can sort of mess things up from time to time. It's very frustrating.
The last thing you want during the holidays.
Which is rough when people are coming over to swim.
To hang out. Yes.
Yeah. All right. This is where HomeServe comes in. Think of it like a subscription for your home. For as little as $4.99 a month, you can sign up for protection on things your regular homeowner's insurance doesn't cover, like plumbing failures, HVAC issues, or electrical problems.
And if something covered breaks, you just call HomeServe's 24/7 hotline, and they handle the repair with one of their trusted local professionals. No panic Googling, no stress, just peace of mind.
They've helped homeowners for over 20 years. They have a network of 2,600 local contractors and more than 4.5 million customers with a 4.8 out of 5 rating after repairs. That's the kind of reliability that lets you actually enjoy the holidays instead of worrying about what could go wrong.
Help protect your home systems and your wallet with HomeServe against covered repairs. Plans start at just $4.99 a month. Go to homeserve.com to find the plan that's right for you.
That's homeserve.com. Not available everywhere. Most plans range between $4.99 to $11.99 a month your first year. Terms apply on covered repairs.
Parenting is hard enough. The last thing you need is a baby monitor that makes it harder. We've all had those that disconnect or crash or make you pay extra for features you thought were included. That is why Harbor is such a relief.
Harbor is designed to give you real peace of mind. The dedicated 10-inch monitor means you can always see your little one clearly without tying up your phone. And if you're away from home, you can still check in anytime through the app.
I love Harbor because I have had those experiences where you wake up in the middle of the night and the Wi-Fi has gone out and therefore so has the baby monitor, and you are just consumed and racked with fear. Is everybody okay? Are you going to hear them crying? Harbor gives you absolute peace of mind. This doesn't even factor in anymore.
Right on. And get this, Harbor works with or without internet.
Exactly.
Just like you said. That means whether you're at home, at the grandparents', or even on a family trip, you can count on it. No complicated setup, just plug it in and go.
And for those exhausted nights, Harbor's smart audio filters out the background noise so you can only hear what matters, which means you might actually get a little sleep.
Come on.
Plus, it grows with your family. You can monitor up to 4 kids at once with custom sound thresholds. And there are never any subscription fees. Ever. Ever, ever.
Restore your peace of mind with Harbor, the only baby monitor designed to never fail you. Plus, Harbor has a special deal for our listeners. Use code TWU or go to harbor.co/TWU for $50 off and experience the security every parent deserves. That's harbor.co/TWU. I was curious for you guys because, there's the honeymoon period of every relationship or whatnot, but like there is something of validity. I'll be married 20 years in March or whatnot, and you're always sort of wondering, does passion have to be sacrificed for dependability? Can those two things exist with one another? Can you oscillate back and forth or what have you, or does one necessarily have to overtake the other? I'm curious what your experience of long-term love feels like.
I will say this, as I was watching this scene, I had a deep understanding of where both people were coming from.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
Where I was like, I hear you, Rebecca,
Yeah.
and it is true. And it is not it is real, but it is not true. And the same thing with her mom. I'm like, yes, that is also real, but it is not true. In the way, and what I mean by real versus true, I mean that feelings aren't facts.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, always.
They always change and they always
Right.
shift and they move and they evolve and all these things. And it's like, yes, the thing, you are having a feeling and right now you are calling it love. But that doesn't mean
That's all that love is?
That's all that love is,
Uh-huh.
or that's all that love looks like. It doesn't mean that it will always be that way. You can have that feeling, and it can change and it can evolve, and sometimes it goes away and it comes back and it thins out and it fills out.
But don't you expect that? That's what I expect of love. Like
No,
I
didn't used to.
oh,
Now I do. Now
I
understand
expect it's
it.
going to shapeshift.
Yeah.
That it's going to look different this year versus next year, and sometimes someone in your partnership has to give a little bit more than the other person,
Yeah.
and
Right.
all of that is perfectly valid and understandable. And I think as long as there is constant communication and you guys are trying to stay
Yeah.
on the same page,
Yeah.
that is what long-term success,
Yeah.
that's what warrants long-term success.
Right.
See, I have an attachment issue.
Talk
I
to
have
us.
when things are good,
Yeah.
I get so attached to the idea that this is how it is now
Mm.
that I get blindsided when it changes. And then when it's bad, I get so attached to, this is how it's going to be forever. And it's stuff that it's something I work on and something
Yeah.
I'm actively working on. But it's like to stay in the flow
Yes.
to stay in the Mandy Moore flow a bit.
Yeah, man.
I don't know the flow.
No, but you've explained
mean,
it. Like,
yeah.
and sometimes we are more aware of that flow
Yeah.
and can allow it. And other times we are struggling against it
Yep.
and trying to swim upstream. And
I feel like parenthood has helped a lot with that. For me, of just like recognizing the impermanence of these phases of like, well,
Impermanence. There it
I guess
is.
our
Yeah.
kids all just sleep perfectly now every night. Like
Yeah.
that's that. We're
right.
done
Great.
with that. And it's like,
Yeah.
that-
until the next growth spurt. or the
correct.
next
Like it's
nightmare,
just
yeah.
constantly changing. You're
Yeah.
never like the second you feel like you have it figured out, something shifts or everything shifts. And I feel
Right.
like that has prepared me for approaching life with that point of view of like, okay, I gotta just be ready for everything and anything and
Right.
and recognizing that like my relationship with my husband is gonna look like that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be harder and easier and harder and easier. And
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think Rebecca Malone knew what Mandy Moore knows?
no, because you
Okay.
don't know that as a young person.
Sure.
You're
It
not
only
supposed to,
comes
right?
exactly. It only
Right.
comes with experience, and it comes with doing the work, and it
Yeah.
comes with, yeah, just like the wisdom that like the a life well lived kind of like garners you.
Do you think that if people knew what you all are talking about right now, they'd be less reticent to enter into it? Do you feel like it is the young person's sort of lot in life to just feel the romance, the sort of passion of it all, which is allows like for something to start? Or do you feel like if people went in with that level of sobriety about what it is, that there would be more relationships?
I think no, like you have. That's the most incredible thing about being a young person, and you
Yeah.
don't know what you don't know, and like
Sure.
Yeah.
the electricity, the magic of like falling in love and thinking that you found your person. Like
Right.
Yeah.
nothing should take away from that and erase
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I think like it's only endeavoring to like do this long term with someone where you start to like pick this up.
Yeah.
It's only weathering hardships and recognizing like it doesn't matter. I'm gonna do whatever it takes for us to stick this out together.
Yeah.
You can't like. There's no way to teach someone that. You have to
You gotta
live
live
that.
it.
It's
Yeah.
like preparing them to be a parent too. Like you could read every book and talk to every friend, and
Come on.
it's the only way you're going to learn is just by living through it. So
Yes.
no,
Okay.
I don't want to take away the magic from anybody.
I feel you.
It's
Yeah.
I
also
feel you.
brain chemistry. You
Explain.
know?
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah,
Go
yeah,
ahead.
Like our dopamine and our serotonin levels
Yeah.
are higher when we're younger.
Right.
and we're more easily, we can fall in love more easily. We
Yeah.
can be joyful more easily. We can give ourselves over to a live music concert
Yeah.
or whatever the thing is.
Yeah.
There's this reckless abandon that comes from literal brain drugs that are
Yeah.
just coursing through our veins. I don't even care. Let's just do what feels good.
Yeah.
And some people have that. Clearly, Kevin has that.
Sure.
Like he taps into that, and it's like, oh, are we in love?
Yeah.
Are you my mother?
Yeah.
Or-
Yeah.
know what I
Are you
mean?
the
Like,
mother of my children? Are
yeah.
you my wife?
But then there are people who I think who don't have that. You know, like you
Aren't
co-
wired that way. Yeah.
yeah, you come to California and you meet all kinds of friends who are single until they're 30, 35, 40,
Sure.
45,
Sure.
you know, and you go home, you visit the Midwest and you run into every couple like, yeah, we met sophomore year of college
Yeah.
or, you know, we met
Yeah.
in high school or,
Yeah. We
yeah.
started having kids at 25 and
yeah, you're 10 years younger than me and have been married for the same amount of time. You know what I
Totally.
mean? So I don't know if that's a regional like development in the brain or or a social development
Yeah.
in how
Yeah.
you interact.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's everybody learns at their own pace.
Okay, one more. So then is it our responsibility as parents with our children to allow them to have full access to that dopamine and feelings, or do you attempt to temper them as Rebecca's mom with like, you know, trying to explain like you may feel this way now, but things will ultimately become something else? Like, what do you think is the role of the mentor for their children, parent, like to share with their kids?
What do you think?
yeah. What do you think? We've answered a lot.
Because I'm coming up with dope ass questions. By
These
the
are
way.
really good
Yeah,
questions.
they are great questions.
I think life is the best teacher. Like we often
Yeah.
think that like the things that we tell our children and the things that we tell our children will ultimately land. You have to say things to kids over and over and over again. And then one day when they're like 26, they'll be like, my dad used to say, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But but life is the best teacher, right? And so I think what you try to do is set them up and put them in environments where they can explore and live in a safe environment where any consequences of their actions will be minimalized by the safety from which they're in.
Yeah.
And just let them do their thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think by and large, I see a lot of parents sometimes that have this like overwhelming desire to sort of like save their children from something or still, and it's like, first of all, the more you do that, the more they're probably going to go in the opposite direction anyway. You can gently lay something out and then just like, I said my piece. Let them do their thing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's me, because I know a lot of other parents would probably feel very different than me. I come to this thing when it comes to unstructured free play and a lot of moms get mad at me because I'm like, man, let these kids run the street. Now, I'm not talking about run across, Slauson and La Cienega. Yeah. I'm talking about if you got a neighborhood and there's a bunch of kids who are close to each other, like you teach them how to cross the street, to look both ways, et cetera. But I'm not going to be with them all the time. So after a certain moment, I was like, you know how to cross the street? Go ahead and cross the street. Like be smart, be safe, et cetera, so that they can have a safe environment in which to learn the rules of how to navigate life. Mm-hmm. That's
how we grew up.
Yeah.
And I want to give my children the same thing.
Yeah.
I think it's the healthiest.
But helicoptering is very much in vogue. And sometimes when you go against the helicoptering, they're like, are you a good parent? And I'm like, I think so. But
yes.
Yeah.
I believe so.
Let us continue. Thank you guys for engaging me.
No,
I
great
love
question.
that. Those were amazing. She basically admits to Rebecca, I think your father got into Jack's head at the country club. And I just sort of gives her that little bit of info that is like, oh, okay, now this all makes sense. Because I think Rebecca's really grappling like, I don't know what happened. I don't know what went wrong. I don't know what I did. Yeah. And her mom basically gives her the gift of like, I think it was your father. Yeah. Like kind of whispering in Jack's ear, like he maybe isn't the right fit for you.
Wonderful gift. Right?
Yeah.
For a mother at this time to have the awareness to be like, you may or may not be, you are definitely feeling this. It may or may not always be this way.
Yeah.
But you have the right to see how this plays out.
Yeah.
Based on your own recognizance, if that's the right use of that word.
Yeah. She's an adult.
There are other things at work here, and it's not just you and Jack. Your dad...
got in his ear.
Yeah, got in his ear, which is...
unfortunate.
Can I play something real quick?
Yeah.
Tell me if you guys can hear this.
If he's really your choice, this dark, complicated man, make sure he gives you a great love story. One for the ages.
So her mom sends her off with that message of like, okay. Now that I've given you this info that like this was your dad's doing, that sort of like I think preempted Jack to break up with you. Yeah. If you're gonna go find him and you're really gonna do this with him, make sure it's worth it.
Yeah.
Make sure he is really your guy.
Yes, ma'am.
Because I think she knows how like headstrong her daughter is, and I think she can also see like how much she really loves Jack. So
and everybody wants that.
Everybody wants that.
Story.
Yeah.
And the next time we see Rebecca, she's found Jack at his place of work at the auto body shop. And she basically, what I love is like, this is normally Jack.
It's my turn.
It's normally Jack pontificating with some big monologue and, stealing the moment and winning the day and all of that. And it's fantastic. And we love him for it. But she basically walks up to him and is like, no. I speak. You listen, basically. And she just tells him, like, I don't care that this is your job. I don't care that you can't provide for me. I don't care that my dad doesn't like you. Basically, like, the world may be against us, but I know what I know. Yeah. And I know that I love you. And I know this is the right thing. And she basically, like, catches him off guard. And he's like, did you really just say I love you first? And she's like, yeah, I did. And he says he loves her too. And they kiss. And basically it's like, okay, they're going to do this. Yeah. But it just like brought me back because it's sort of juxtaposed with Kevin telling Lizzie during their date at the Hollywood Bowl, like, oh, my parents were hopeless romantics. They had this effortless love story. And you really come to see like
No such thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The family lore of, I'm sure, what Jack and Rebecca told them or what they simply showed these kids growing up was beautiful and was a wonderful example of a happy marriage most of the time. And but it wasn't like it got off to a rockier, unceremonious start. That maybe they wouldn't have like regaled their children with, It's not as much fun of a story.
I tell you, there's something really interesting. I find interesting parallels between Jack and Rebecca and Sterling and Ryan in terms of like Ryan having a bit more affluence coming up than myself.
Mm-hmm.
There's something incredibly powerful of that woman loving me in the midst of my circumstances and not seeing me for just what I brought to the table in that moment, but like seeing me as someone of great promise and just like loving me in spite of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like where a lot of other people in her life are like, why would you hook yourself up to somebody who
We were in
doesn't-
the same situation.
You know what I'm saying?
Rach and I, yeah.
It is a powerful, dare I say, divine feeling to be like, you see me and love me regardless, and you like sort of bucking up against like even how folks are feeling in your own family, et cetera. And I was like, I don't know if I can ever fully thank her enough for like hitching her wagon to this horse or what have you. And
Stallion, please.
thank you. That's very kind of you, but believing, when there wasn't necessarily like a lot of evidence to believe. Like that's what I saw when I saw you walk into this garage, this dude living in the place that he was living. She's like, F all of that. Like, I know what I feel. I know what exists between us, and I know what we can create together.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
It is beautiful and it's powerful, but like, I think that's what we all want, right?
Yes.
Like, yeah. I mean, yeah.
It takes faith,
Yeah.
in a person or in a feeling, to trust.
And in the world, to know that like, no
trust
matter
those
what,
things.
we're going to figure this out together.
Yeah.
But that is like, that's true love.
It's dope,
That's
man.
partnership.
I love that love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we should get to
I love that love.
Rebecca present day.
Yeah.
Because we have it's a sort of a Rebecca, Miguel, and Randall storyline.
Yeah.
Randall's in Philly. He's been looking at neurologists to sort of meet with mom, and he winds up finding somebody and telling Miguel, and he's like, "Oh, that's cool, appreciate it." He's like, "Well, I'll be out there so we can go see the doctor together." And Miguel's like,
No need.
"No, if that's all necessary." He's like, "Yo, man, I found this person. I
Yeah.
want to make sure everything goes
This
as
family
smoothly
flies.
as possible." We fly. That's exactly that's how we do. And
Got all these miles.
what's very interesting is like, so you have to take a test, and a cognition test just to
Yeah.
see how things are going with your memory. And what I find really lovely about this episode is that the things that you remember are sort of like the framing of the episode is that you are remembering the beginnings of your relationship with Jack,
Yeah.
right?
And sort of some of my favorite moments, like with Randall as a baby. Like,
Yes. Yeah. And so you go and take the test, and Miguel and Randall are outside, and Miguel's like, "Yo, man, you didn't have to come all the way out there." And he's like, "It's no big deal." Right? And he's like, I could have handled it myself. And he's like, "Look, man." And it's funny, like I looked at this choice that Brown made as Randall. And I was like, I stand by you, Brown. I stand by you, Randall, as Brown. Because sometimes I don't. It's like, look, I saw her for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I
And
could
something
see
was off.
something was not right.
Yeah.
You've been with her every day. How could you not have? He's like, I just chalked it up to folks getting old. And he's like, all right. And you can tell Randall's like, that's why I'm here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
'cause
yeah.
I need to see this for myself.
Yeah.
Because something's been
Clear-eyed.
transpiring that's not
Sure.
copacetic, right?
Yeah.
They go in. Oh, no. They wind up getting notice from Rebecca that the doctor let them know that the test results are in. Because Randall's like, can we get the results while I'm here? I'm only
Well,
here for-
can
Yeah,
I
please.
just jump in with, because I found it to be a really beautiful moment. So she goes and takes the test, right? And the testing around cognitive impairment, and like it involves like the doctor asks you, tells you phrases and wants you to repeat the phrases. You have to draw a clock with like the certain, you have to talk about like the date and where you are. And there's a whole range of questions, right? So she does that. She goes back to Miguel and Randall. They go to the cafeteria while they're waiting on the doctor to have these, to come back with their test results, same day. And they see, she feels good. She's like, feels like she aced the test. And they see a little baby in the cafeteria, and it just sort of jogs Rebecca's memory of like, I've been thinking so much about like you guys as babies, and specifically this like beautiful memory of baby Randall, right?
Yeah.
Who was an early riser, whereas the twins, for whatever reason, decided to sleep in.
Yeah.
And Rebecca, like most mornings, would sneak in when Randall was like awake, and she'd pick him up and she'd put on her headphones and her Walkman, and she'd listen to Joni Mitchell, and she would sit there and rock Randall, and they would watch the sort of the light come up, the sun come up, and just how beautiful it looked in the room.
That was
Yeah,
a
I'm
good
trying to-
DP. That was a good DP
Exactly. They would watch the light change, and for like a moment, it was like she could make time stand still. And babies change so fast. She didn't know, like, it made me think about it as well. It's like you never know that last time that you might rock them, that you might pick them up, that you might, you know, they might need you to like fall asleep at night or whatever the case may be. And she's like, so I really took stock of those moments, and I remembered every detail of those mornings with you when you were a little baby. And you could just tell, like, it's someone who knows. She knows. She knows that something's coming. And so it's like, sorry.
That's okay.
The having the access to those memories still while you can. It's like, I don't know. I remember thinking that when I read the script initially, it was like, oh, this woman like realizes what's coming for her, even though she hasn't been told yet by the doctor.
Yeah.
And it just like gets me every time. So I don't know. I think being a parent too, it changes everything that through that lens. Sorry.
No, come on.
So while they're sitting at in the diner, in the cafeteria rather, they get a call that like the doctor's ready and wants Randall and Miguel to be in the room while she gives Rebecca the results.
Yeah.
She has recognized that Rebecca does have something called mild cognitive impairment, and it's sort of the beginning stages before there's any real concrete answers as to an exact diagnosis.
Yeah.
It's sort of just like the perceptible shift in things moving in a certain direction, right?
Yeah.
That like there are things that couldn't be remembered, and Rebecca's very defensive, as anyone would be, I feel like, in that particular situation. She is she's like, I looks back at the test and is like, I drew the clock.
Yeah.
Like it's very clearly a clock. It says 7 o'clock or whatever time it's supposed to say. And the doctor's like, no, there's evidence that there is spatial distortion or whatever phrase she uses. And you can see that like the numbers, we had a neurologist who was consulting us on a lot of these early episodes with Rebecca, but she was there on the day to help make sure that we were accurately drawing this clock.
Yeah.
So you kind of see that like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are like very sort of widely spaced, and then like 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 are all kind of like crammed together.
Gotcha.
And that, I guess, was what it sort of showed the doctor. Like, there's starting to be this spatial distortion happening. And you couldn't remember some of the phrases, like, right after I asked you to repeat them, right after I told you.
Yeah.
And, you know, everyone's hungry for like, well, what is it then? Like, let's give it a name. And the doctor so often, I mean, my father-in-law has Parkinson's, and I think it's in a similar boat, these cognitive diseases where it takes so long to actually get an official diagnosis. It's years and years and years of like, truly of, in some cases, watching these tiny shifts start to like move in a certain direction where then those patterns, like they're able to name it.
Yep.
And I think that's the case oftentimes with dementia and Alzheimer's, is they won't give you this like diagnosis necessarily like right off the bat. It takes years of like, again, recognizing those patterns. And that's what's happening with Rebecca. So it's like food for thought. This is what this is the direction we believe it's moving in. And I think they left relieved to have some idea of what was going on. I'm sure Randall felt validated, like what I saw, although I didn't want this to be the
Didn't wanna
answer,
be
was
right.
was like
Right.
you weren't crazy for thinking that like this was something you needed to do, that she needed to see a doctor.
Yeah.
Miguel feels guilty. You know, he confides to Randall, like, I thought that, she forgot the word spatula the other day and called it a food flipper. And I thought that was like silly and kind of cute, but like, I think I was in denial and just thought we were getting older and like, I don't know what I'll do without her. It's like immediately you jump to, because you know
Right.
what could potentially be coming.
Yeah.
And like I said before I broke down, I think Rebecca did too, like in her gut, when she confides in Randall in the last episode, like halfway through the like, trailer for Cats at the movie theater, like I forgot what movie I was there to see. Like
Right.
this is not my baseline.
Yeah.
Something is changing.
Yeah.
So I also found it like so moving, like as we're going back and forth as our show does, right? In time of like seeing the past and seeing this like, Jack and Rebecca and like the true like consolidation of this, like these two forces together, right? This is the real start of their life together. The road trip and first date and all of that was really beautiful, but like her coming and saying like, I don't care, we're doing this. Like, I'm not letting my dad interfere. I'm not letting your lack of belief in you being able to provide for me, like all of that. None of that matters. What matters is you and I, and we're doing this together. Like that's when this union really started, right?
Yeah.
And so I think she's already like, what am I, like, what's the most precious thing to me, right? Like time is not a renewable resource.
Sure.
And I know the clock is ticking now officially. And there's that shot of her in the mirror kind of looking in the end. And you're like, oh, wow, she's thinking about the baby. She's thinking about Jack, because like all of this eventually won't be as accessible.
Yeah.
It'll be gone.
Yeah.
It does sort of remind you of in a couple of earlier episodes too, the pictures
Yeah,
that she's been
of
taking.
course. That's, you know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
I want to remember all of this because my mind is not what it used to be. And I'm very proud of my son, but like there's something a little deeper there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was touched by, a couple of things real quick. There's something you said, it can only be the swarm in LA on January 11th.
Yeah.
Right? So you knew where you were. January 11th is Arlene Brown's birthday.
Oh.
Right? And as you're talking about these degenerative diseases,
Yeah.
whether they be mental and or physical, similar sort of thing with ALS, right? Like she was in a facility because she broke her ankle, slipped on some ice, and was doing rehab on her ankle, and like wasn't getting the walking back, and then would use her arms to overcompensate and would tear her rotator cuffs.
Oh my gosh.
And so you're like, whoa, something's going on here that's more than just a broken ankle. And so it took a while to figure out what it was,
How long?
Months to like a year
Oh, wow.
before we were able to get like an official diagnosis. She broke her ankle December of 2016, and we got an official diagnosis April of 2018.
Got it.
Yeah.
That's.
Yeah. It takes a while, right? But I was thinking about that. And then I was just thinking about like, similar to what you were saying, Mandy, like actively holding on to the things that were of greatest importance was what I saw Rebecca doing.
Yes.
And the other thing, and this is a tangent, because let me finish the storyline in terms of just that conversation between Miguel and Randall.
Yeah.
He's like, you were right, Randall. I didn't want to be right. He admits to like, having seen things, and he says, I'm going to take care of her.
Yeah.
I said, I know you are, big dog.
Yeah.
Like, and that's, does somebody ever come fucking through?
Yeah.
It's Miguel.
Come on, Jack.
Yeah.
That brother came through. He
In
did.
every way.
He's 10 toes down. He
Yeah.
stood
Yeah.
on business.
Yeah.
I'm taking care of this woman, Jack.
He tried the whole
Yeah.
until the bitter end. I know.
And there's a lovely shot of us, the three of us walking out, you holding his hand and me standing right next to you, which is a beautiful thing. The thought that I had to, in terms of like the love that is present in your life and the love that was and whatnot, like the human capacity for love Like, and I think it took a certain level of maturity for me to even recognize this, that like people that my wife has been with in her past or whatnot used to have some sort of sense of jealousy or whatever. I was like, da, 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 da. I was like, the more love you experience, the more love you have to experience more love.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't go away.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like, we shouldn't be, thank God Miguel is mature enough to be like, look, I know who I am. I know who Jack was. I am secure in what we have. And what they had was beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just throwing that out to
Agreed.
people who need to hear that possibly.
Yeah.
Agreed. And to go back to Rebecca's mom's description of like what she and Rebecca's dad had, like Miguel and Rebecca have a different kind of love.
Yeah.
But it's no less valid or valuable. Like it's quieter, it's smaller. I mean, she said so much in
She
like
does.
a previous, episode or something, I believe this season. And it's really beautiful. It's beautiful to like witness in the show just all different kinds of love at different stages, different ages.
Yes.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I mean the way everything plays out is a chance for an audience to understand characters based on the way the other characters see them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it really defines like how we exist in this world based on relationship to everyone and everything around us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which is why it's so valuable to have friends and family.
Friends,
you know what I
friends are
mean?
helpful.
Like because I understand you based on my experience of you, but also by the way Mandy reflects you back to me, and the way your wife reflects you to me.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and so it's interesting this episode in particular because of what she's sharing about her memory and her reflecting moments that you don't remember. Miguel wasn't there for. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
and she's building you as a person even now.
Yeah,
in a
like
way.
this a more fully realized picture of yourself.
Yeah.
Like that is such a gift, right? To be able to give someone something, a little piece of themselves that you would never know about otherwise.
sure.
Right.
But it's part of you. It's in you somewhere.
Yeah.
You just were too little to ever realize that.
Yeah.
So maybe that is a key to your earlier question about our children, as they grow and they start having feelings and experiences, is to help them
Contextualize.
know themselves
Yeah.
fully enough so that they can be free in those moments to trust whatever they're feeling.
I feel you.
I love that.
That's good.
You know what I mean?
And this episode ends in a way that I totally forgot about.
Right.
And I out loud shouted at my TV when I realized.
Yeah.
But Randall comes home from this, I'm sure, emotionally draining trip to Los Angeles. He lands back in Philly. He comes home. It's clearly very late.
Yeah.
The house is asleep. He sort of puts his stuff down, goes upstairs, looks in on everyone, gives them all kisses, wakes up Beth, and is like, I'm going to just go back downstairs for a glass of water. And he walks downstairs, and what does he find?
There's a burglar. There's an intruder in his home.
He's being burgled.
He's being burgled, and it just freezes on like the two of them staring at each other.
The look on your face, man, was so real.
It was so priceless. Yeah.
And that was the end of the episode.
Yeah, I was like, what? Oh.
We know how to hang a cliff.
Yeah, it's
For
a
shizzle.
cliffhanger.
Yeah. So we'll get into it more because we're going to pick up right where we left off.
We're
in the
going to
next
pick up where we
episode.
left off, but this was a really special episode.
Yeah. Shout out to the Yasu. He
Yasu
handled his
Tanita.
business.
It was beautiful. I think we're going to come back with a fan segment, right? Our favorite segment of the show.
I love a fan
More
segment.
That Was Us after this.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the fan segment. This fan segment is inspired by one of the sweetest moments in this episode when Jack and Rebecca finally say, I love you.
So we asked all of you listeners to share your own stories about the first time you said, I love you to your significant other.
Oh, we're so excited to share some of your love stories. Let's read a few of the emails you sent in.
All right. The first email we have is from Abby. Hello, Mandy, Sterling, and Chris.
Hello, Abby.
First off, thank you for the wonderful gift of this podcast.
Aw.
Oh, you're welcome.
You're so welcome, Abby.
It's our
Let's just stop
pleasure.
to say you're welcome. And giving fans a way to keep the show alive. I saw the prompt of great first I love you stories and just had to write in. My husband Joshua and I met while working as camp counselors at a summer camp in Mount Ida, Arkansas.
All right.
After the summer ended, he went to work full-time for the camp, and I moved to Boston for an accounting job. But when I was home in Memphis for the holidays, he stopped to grab dinner on the way back to Arkansas.
All right.
This first date started as dinner in Memphis and ended with me spending a week back at camp with him to wrap up the holiday break.
Okay.
During this week of bliss, we spent every hour together.
Yeah, you did.
Seeing camp in the off season was magical, complete with the first snow of the season. Oh, I can just feel it, you guys. This is me now.
Yeah.
Just a little cabin. Snow
Yeah.
starts to fall. So cozy. On the last night, he took me up to the top of the infamous climbing tower. And as we sat wrapped up in blankets looking at the stars, this epic first date ended with the first I love yous
Wow.
from each of us.
Wow.
Now I'm sitting with my fourth cup of coffee of the day, typing this one-handed as our 3-week-old daughter has a death grip on my thumb. And I hope that she one day finds a love just as wonderful as ours. Forever y'all's fan, Abby.
Come through,
Abby,
Abs.
congratulations.
That's awesome.
Abby,
That
thank
is
you for
so beautiful.
throwing the word y'all in there.
Yeah.
For sure. Come
Might
on,
be the greatest
Arkansas.
word in the English language.
I love
So
me some
I
y'all.
am going to read an email from Nicole. Hi, Mandy, Chris, and Sterling. I am a big fan of the show. It's my favorite show. Thank you. And your podcast is the only podcast I listen to.
Oh.
I used to say I wasn't a podcast person until you guys.
That's right.
Thank
Wow,
you so
right
much,
on.
Nicole. I truly believe it is a handbook for life, and given my rough childhood, it is exactly what I need and what helps me be a better person. I learned what was healthy and what a family life should look like from the show. Good
Yeah.
gracious, thank you. It's for that reason that I believe my love story is connected to This Is Us, especially because I first said I love you after watching an episode together.
Oh,
The show helped me validate my growing feelings for the guy I was dating then, Matthew, and who would eventually become my husband. The show showed me what a healthy romantic relationship should look like. I saw so many characteristics of Jack and Matthew, a sensitive yet steady man who would do anything for his family and the woman he loves. As a survivor of childhood sexual abuse that didn't come out until I was 17 years old, I had lived through a very turmoiled childhood where my mother and abuser would argue nearly every day. Growing up, my biggest fear was to repeat the same mistakes my mom made in marrying bad men who would abuse kids. I didn't know what real love looked like and felt like, and watching This Is Us, seeing Jack and Rebecca's story, and also the big 3 love stories, helped me learn what a healthy home life was supposed to look like, and it paralleled the future I could see myself sharing with Matthew. Each episode felt like it cemented my love for him, and that I could break the cycle and be in a healthy relationship with a man who won't abuse my kids and instead will protect them fiercely, and who will love me, and most importantly, it was a love that finally felt safe. Anyway, back to my I love you story. Matthew and I started off long distance, and during one visit, we watched the episode where Kevin injured his leg in high school, ending his football career.
Come on.
I had been watching the show by myself, and this was his first episode, and he cried in the episode. I thought, that was so Jack Pearson. And again, this show has been helping me grow in my feelings towards Matthew. I knew I loved him, and this moment only solidified my feelings for him. So I told him I love him after we watched the episode and cried, and he said it back. And we continued to say it to each other every day that day forward. We got married last year in August of 2025 and celebrated our 1-year anniversary. I am so happy to have found my own Jack Pearson and to be in a very loving, safe, and healthy relationship that broke the cycle. Thank you, That Was Us Pod, for letting me share my story. Best, Nicole.
so great.
Wow.
Thanks, Nicole. Wow.
Well, she said last year, August 2025. I hope it's 2024.
2024.
Otherwise, it's
Yeah.
like,
We got married last year, so August 2025 was their
their
1-year
anniversary.
anniversary.
Okay, got it.
Got it.
That makes
Sure.
sense. Got it. Okay, so my letter is from Janine. And Janine says, Hafa Adai, which means hello, from the island of Guam.
Hello.
Sterling, Mandy, and Chris. My name is
Hafa Adai.
Janine Damien, and I've been married to my wonderful Jack Pearson-like husband, Daryl, for almost 3 years now.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be celebrating our anniversary on December 7th. We first met in middle school back in 2010, but it wasn't until college 7 years later that we reconnected and fell in love. One night, barely just a couple of weeks into dating, we were driving down a quiet road when we both started to say, I love, at the exact same time,
Oh.
and then stopped ourselves. It felt too soon, even though we both knew what we were feeling. About a week later, we finally admitted what had almost slipped out that night. And 5 years after that, we got married in that very same church we had passed when those little words first tried to sneak out.
Oh.
Thank you, Sterling, Mandy, Chris, the rest of the incredible cast, and most especially Dan and Siddhartha for creating such an unforgettable show.
Yeah, shouting out Sid. I
Come
love
on
it.
now. We love you all and are so deeply thankful for how This Is Us has expanded our understanding of what it means to be human, to be a family, and to be truly loved. We pray that God will bless us with children someday, and when He does, we look forward to sharing this beautiful show with them, one that has helped prepare our hearts for the journey of parenthood. Janine Damien, LMSW. You guys, what a wonderful
We have the
sort
greatest
of
fans.
Yep.
Truly.
reaffirmation of what the show was to so many people.
Yeah.
Thank you, Janine
Janine.
Damien.
Thank you so
Thank you, everybody. Nicole, Janine, Abby, beautiful emails. Thank you for sharing
Yeah.
your stories with us. And like, man, the show is, I don't know. We've said it all before. I guess we could say it again. Like, it just meant something to people.
Yeah.
It's so cool to be a part of something that meant something
Yeah.
to people.
Yes.
That like
That's-
our little show is
Yes.
woven into everyone's life
Yeah.
in its own way. It's remarkable.
And that y'all are keeping the show alive with us.
Yeah.
You know, like
By
that's
listening to the
what we
pod
wanted
and
to do.
following
Totally.
along and
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
what?
Look at that.
On top of their cake, is this their wedding cake, engagement cake,
Yeah,
some
you-
sort of
you
cake
better be
celebrating their
watching us
love?
on
Also,
Spotify.
Janine, beautiful wedding dress with their dogs. And I don't know if this is like the after, but the after dress, the slamming sister.
Yeah.
She
And
killing
him,
it.
I'm sorry, the brown suit.
Bronson
and sharp.
looking good.
Yeah, they're a handsome couple.
Lord
Nice.
have mercy.
A lot of mercy.
This is awesome. Okay,
This is us.
that was us.
That
Another
was them.
great episode.
Another great episode. Always a joy to chop it up with you guys.
Yeah.
To our
Chop it up.
listeners, thank you. If you haven't by this
Yeah.
time, like, subscribe, tell a friend, support our sponsors. It helps us keep the show
Yeah.
on and active and lively.
Pick an episode on YouTube, share it with a friend, or
Yeah.
just a clip. Maybe you got a funny clip you come across, send it. Let people know.
Yeah.
I
'Cause
bet the
still-
funny clip is
I
one of the
still-
two of you guys doing something
You're
ridiculous.
I still
hysterical,
run
man.
into
You know what?
people who love the show who don't know
that we
that
have
we're
a
doing a
podcast.
podcast.
Yeah.
So help us spread the word.
Amen.
Check anyone. I just looked at this. I don't know if you guys know this.
Huh.
We have over 2,000 5-star reviews.
Oh, we do?
Yeah, on iTunes.
Also,
That's what I'm
friends in the
Yeah.
Los Angeles area, we
Yeah.
are doing a live show on January 17th at the Wiltern
Yes.
here in Los Angeles.
Sure, you're right.
Even if you don't live in LA and you want to make a little journey out to Southern California,
Good.
it is sometimes really beautiful in mid-January.
And
out
we'll make
here.
it worth your while. It's not
Yeah.
just a live podcast. We're going to be playing some live music with
Yeah.
with support from Taylor and Griffin Goldsmith.
Yeah, and hopefully Sid will be a part of it.
Sid
I'm not going to
should be
mention any
nice.
more names,
Yeah,
but
That's it.
we have the music is a
Things are
huge
in the
through
works.
line in our show.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
we have some ideas percolating right now.
Let your imaginations run wild.
Yes.
Let us surprise you.
But
That's
thank you
right.
for listening. Tell a friend, pass it on, support our sponsors. You know the drill.
Chris, what's the name of the show, man?
That was us.
That Was Us is filmed at Rabbit Grin Studios and produced by Rabbit Grin Productions. Music by Taylor Goldsmith and Griffin Goldsmith.
Da-da-da-dum, da-da-dum. That was us.